We had a show, and I asked Mr. Bentley, can he hold my chain? And he was like, yeah, I got you. And then he never quite gave me back my chain. And then every time I asked him, he always came up with buku.
I've always said about this gentleman lifestyle, or just to these guys, is I'm not trying to change anybody from who they are. I just want you to be able to be yourself and all.
Regular, just the way they carry themselves. It's the nigga holding the umbrella for you and him just talking to you any kind of way. Hey, yo, he don't talk with respect like, yo, man. He talk.
Have reached a partial verdict in the Sean Diddy Combs misconduct trial. The jury reached a verdict on 4 of the 5 counts, but is stuck on the top charge, racketing conspiracy.
Fonzworth Bentley didn't just disappear from Hollywood. He slipped out quietly, and nobody really knew why at first. For years, fans were left guessing, but the truth traces all the way back to how it started. His clean, polished style is what put him on the radar of major figures like Sean Combs. That opportunity looked sweet from the outside, but it came with pressure that slowly pulled him away from who he really was. Once his name started getting linked to Diddy's over-the-top lifestyle, things got uncomfortable fast. People began connecting dots, and the image started cracking.
Haven't been any pictures. You got your makeup on and your hair's done. You ready to get up in there? I gotta stay camera ready. You taught me that. Are you ready for yours now?
He had became Puff, one of Puff's personal assistants. You understand? To make sure all Puff there when we get ready to go, everything that was supposed to be in order. That was Fonz.
Oh yeah. Exactly. Ain't no crispiness on the side of my lips. Make sure that the colors are all the way right. Make sure you focus on the colors. All right, cool.
It's addiction. Y'all don't understand. Look at Bentley and all these people. Come on, man. Now that we know the monster, man, you carry the man umbrella. He was the man. I watched this man disrespect you every chance he.
Born Derek Watkins on February 13th, 1974 in Southwest Atlanta, his upbringing played a major role. He wasn't raised in chaos. He grew up middle class, structured, and disciplined, and that shaped his whole mindset. Education ran deep in his family. His dad taught at Morehouse College. His mom graduated from Spelman College, and she even sent him to etiquette school. That single move planted the seed for the gentleman of hip-hop image that later made him stand out.
Third tip, get my book, Advance Your Swagger, How to Use Manners, Confidence, and Style to Get Ahead. I go through it in pretty good detail in there. The 15 must-haves for the men's and women's club. This trouser here, which is just a cream gabardine, looks very 1930s, Gene Kelly, Fred Astaire-esque.
Really walk up to Puff and I'd be like, you want to do this, but you can't do this, and walk off.
Whoa.
Talk about my clothes. Because it's like,
Pause.
And plus, he had put something on his Instagram. He put something on his Instagram like 4 or 5 months ago, and he was like, don't let me tell my story or some shit like that. I heard they fell out because of...
Even with that polished upbringing, Fonzworth Bentley wasn't the type to just sit still. At Morehouse, he majored in biology and ran track, traveling nationwide for competitions. The discipline was already in him early. At first, he was locked in on becoming a medical professional. That was the plan until junior year hit and everything shifted. Medicine stopped calling and he couldn't force it anymore. That's when entertainment took over. His dream flipped to becoming a VJ on MTV, inspired by non-stop music videos and pop culture. He auditioned and missed the first cut, but he didn't quit. He regrouped, searched for his angle, and kept grinding. Even after graduation, the breakthrough didn't come easy. Fonzworth Bentley landed a job at the Ralph Lauren store in Lenox Square Mall, right in Buckhead. Real upscale vibes. He was sharp at it too, so sharp they transferred him straight to New York City, and that move changed everything.
Is that Mr. Bentley Fonzworth?
Indeed it is, sir.
Good day, good sir. How do you do? Look fine.
Fantastically well, I am certainly not fine by far.
Bentley, you know you better ask somebody.
God, that not only did it not work the way I wanted to, and the hands being laid on me, now I have this beautiful scar to show off that I love to show off, which is proof that,
New York had the fashion, the motion, the culture. At Ralph Lauren's Madison Avenue flagship, Bentley crossed paths with Sean Combs, and that one meeting flipped his whole life upside down. Diddy was dealing with legal pressure at the time, and having someone calm, polished, and dependable around mattered. Just like that, Bentley went from retail floors to moving side by side with one of hip-hop's biggest bosses as his assistant and valet. And he stood out heavy, always clean, always ready, never slipping. While everyone else rocked baggy fits, Bentley pulled up with tailored suits and an old-school gentleman vibe that nobody could forget. People who worked around Bad Boy back then still bring up Fonzworth Bentley to this day. They say he brought a refined, high-class energy into a scene that was loud, rough, and unpolished. One MTV cameraman even joked that Bentley barely had to speak. His posture said everything. And once that umbrella became part of the look, it was raps. He was everywhere. That umbrella turned into his signature fast. His first real music moment came in 2002 on Da Band, Too Hot for TV with the Cheers to Me, Mr. Bentley interlude. Then 2003 cracked the door wide open when he popped up on Making the Band. Viewers loved him. Polite, confident, smooth, and different.
Howard to travel to New York City to intern with Andre Harrell. I'm that guy in 2001. Please, I need a job. And I started, he said, come to 1396 3rd Avenue on this two-way, and I literally raced to that address, and I started as assistant that day.
For a long time, you famously had a butler, and the guy's name, Fonzworth Bentley.
Fonzworth Bentley.
And there were these great photos that would show up in the magazines. Let's see this photo right here of Fonzworth Bentley holding on a...
How would you say, as far as your gift, how many ways or how would you like to touch people with your particular?
From there, doors kept swinging open. He landed movie roles in Honey, Fat Albert, and Think Like a Man. And his moment on Speaker Box, The Love Below with the Good Day, Good Sir skit felt tailor-made for him. And here's the real part. Bentley wasn't playing a role. That polished image was real life. He was rocking Ralph Lauren way before fashion made it trendy, moving classy in a game that wasn't built for it at all. He was rocking crisp button-ups while everyone else was still drowning in oversized jerseys and fitted caps. Fonzworth Bentley was way ahead of the curve, like he saw where hip-hop fashion was headed before the culture even caught on. By 2004, he wasn't just the stylish guy next to Diddy anymore. That year, he popped up in the new workout plan, and it felt like a whole new chapter cracking open.
This trial would send him a lot of, spiritual verses just to kind of support him. And then one day, I left the restaurant. I was working as a maitre d' for 11 Madison Park, a fantastic restaurant.
I understand, I look at Bentley and all these people. Come on, man. Now that we know the monster, man, you carry the man umbrella. You was the man. I watched this man disrespect you every chance he got, talk to you like
that. When you go to a hotel, anytime you go to a hotel, you don't just check in the way everybody else does. You send someone ahead to prepare the hotel room for you.
It's called preparing the
Preparing.
Behind the scenes, his influence ran deeper than most people realized. He earned credits on major tracks from Yeezus like On Sight, Black Skinhead, I Am a God, and Hold My Liquor. Later on, he was even credited as a producer on Ultralight Beam, which was a huge leap from valet duties. His focus fully shifted into styling, art, and creative direction. Industry insiders say he became the go-to for red carpet transformations, quietly upgrading looks without forcing anything. That momentum led to his own spotlight moment. In 2008, MTV handed him the keys to From G's to Gents. The show was everywhere, challenging 14 rough-around-the-edges young men to level up into polished gentlemen. It wasn't just TV. From G's to Gents tapped into something bigger. Fonzworth Bentley became one of the faces pushing the gentleman's movement, showing hip-hop could be sharp, educated, mindful, and still fly. But here's what most people never saw. While his brand looked cleaner and bigger on the outside, tension was building behind the scenes. As his image rose alongside Sean Combs' empire, something started weighing on him. Bentley was elegant and polished, but always second place, almost like a carefully styled accessory in someone else's story. The signs were subtle but real. In 2007, he dropped his book, Advance Your Swagger. On the surface, it read like a guide to posture and manners, but between the lines, it felt like someone fighting to hold a perfect image together. One creative director who worked closely with him later said Bentley was brilliant, but that pressure was real. Fonzworth Bentley was seriously brilliant. He cared about music deeply, structure, vocals, concepts, all of it. But tension always followed. Was he creating as himself or performing a version the industry wanted? During one session, a voice note caught him saying, "I feel like I'm playing dress up for someone else's dream." That line said everything. By 2009, the frustration boiled over. In an email to Sean Combs' team, Bentley wrote, "I need to create something that isn't just lipstick on Diddy's brand. I can't keep living as a reflection." He pushed for a new role, A&R, music direction, anything real. The reply was polite but firm. This was Puff's empire. Translation: important, but not enough to truly lead. By mid-2010, Fonzworth Bentley quietly stepped out of the spotlight. No more umbrella, no more red carpets, just a calm fade and a respectful goodbye on social media. Fans were shocked, but the industry moved on fast. What most people missed was the purpose behind it. Bentley didn't vanish, he reset. He shifted into creative consulting, co-writing faith-based music, and mentoring behind the scenes. His work turned toward community projects, NGOs, and real impact, far away from the MTV image. In a 2015 call, his brother Roland said it best. "Derek's always been about more than image, culture, creativity, faith, and that checks out." By 2017, Bentley was quietly building content, mentoring young people from underserved communities, and teaching discipline, creativity, and etiquette on his own terms. It wasn't flashy, but it was real. It was purpose. Then out of nowhere, Bentley's quiet reinvention got rocked by fresh controversy. Recently, rapper Chopper, also known as Young City, made some serious claims about Fonzworth Bentley. He alleged Bentley had a reputation for taking valuables during the Making the Band era, blaming low pay and financial stress at the time. Chopper even claimed Bentley took his $70,000 chain and never returned it. Heavy accusations that instantly shocked fans. What made it louder? Bentley didn't respond at all. No denial, no explanation, just silence, and that silence had people talking. Then things escalated. Former Da Band member Freddie P jumped in during an interview on The Art of Dialogue. He made personal claims about the environment around Diddy, stirring the internet and dragging Bentley's name right back into uncomfortable conversations. According to Freddie P, the environment around Sean Combs was dark and controlling, and he pulled Fonzworth Bentley straight into that storm. Freddie claimed Diddy had a pattern of breaking people down emotionally and treating those around him with disrespect, saying Bentley was often publicly talked down to and humiliated. Freddie went further, suggesting Bentley's role went beyond business and hinting at inappropriate dynamics, claims that immediately set the internet on fire. Bentley had also posted a cryptic message months earlier saying, "Don't let me tell my story," which many people took as a warning that he knew much more than he ever shared. Now let's be clear, neither Bentley nor Diddy has ever confirmed any romantic involvement, and there's zero hard proof behind that claim. Still, one part of Freddie's rant hit differently, his point about power, pressure, and influence. That part doesn't sound far-fetched anymore, especially with Diddy now facing serious federal charges where former assistants have testified about alleged systems of control inside his business operations. Suddenly, those old comments don't sound so wild at all. The allegations tied to Sean Combs are heavy. Forced labor, kidnapping, bribery, obstruction, spanning from 2008 to 2024. But here's the key detail people keep skipping. Fonzworth Bentley left Bad Boy back in 2004. That's 4 years before any of these accusations even start. His name is not in the civil suits, not in the criminal filings, and not tied to any formal charge at all. Still, online detectives won't let it go. Old interviews, photos, and clips are being picked apart like puzzle pieces. One moment making the rounds again is a 2004 interview Diddy did with Conan O'Brien, where he praised Bentley as an entrepreneur who'd already moved on. In that same interview, Diddy casually mentioned sending assistants ahead to hotel rooms to set a vibe. Back then, it sounded like harmless celebrity behavior. Now, with prosecutors painting a darker picture years later, people are watching those clips with fresh eyes. Bentley himself has stayed completely silent through all of this. CNN reportedly reached out to Fonzworth Bentley and his former reps, but there was no response. One former Bad Boy bodyguard even suggested Bentley could be locked into NDAs that legally stop him from speaking, even if he wanted to. And that alone says a lot. So where does that leave his legacy? For many, Bentley will always be remembered as Diddy's umbrella-holding gentleman, the polished, quiet presence who stood out in hip-hop's loudest era. But with the theft allegations resurfacing in 2025, his image now carries a darker edge that can't be ignored. When you mix in the rumors, the pressure, the career fade, and the quiet reinvention, his story turns into more than celebrity gossip. It becomes a cautionary tale about building your entire career next to someone else's power. Fame by association isn't stability, and public polish doesn't always match private reality. Now I want to hear from you. What's your take on Fonzworth Bentley's legacy? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you in the next one.